but I hope you're doing well. All right, putting it in the pooper here. No, he's gonna just barely escape. Yo, what's going on, everybody? Chadley here, and in today's video we're going to be updating Stinkbot Flak. And if you guys do not know what Stinkbot is, basically what this build is utilizing the Novas on the Pestilence and also how they interact with the Stackbot class mod. With this build, you guys are going to be flying through takedowns like it's nothing. You're going to be one-tapping pretty much every single enemy that you encounter in terms of mobs. And overall, the damage you put out is pretty darn disgusting, and it's all really without shooting. All you got to do is melee and everything around you dies. So it's pretty darn easy to use, and it just is overall a very fast clearing build. I'll be out of town this weekend for 4th of July, but otherwise, once I get back, we'll have many more build updates. I have about 3 or 4 that are basically good to go at the moment. So next week, expect a lot of build updates. But otherwise, let's go ahead and jump right into Stinkbot Flak. So let's go ahead and start off with our weapons first. Now, I just use a URAD face puncher just for shooting things that are at a distance, because this also benefits from Stackbot, but does not reset its bonuses. So with this, anything that I can't hit with the Pestilence Nova, I'll just shoot it with the face puncher. But otherwise, the thing that I use 99% of the time is a URAD Pestilence. You can use a 150 over 90 as well. It's completely up to you, but 99% of the time I just use the URAD version. And then otherwise, all you got to do with the Pestilences is overcharge them. So just go ahead and hold down the firing on them until it overheats. And once it overheats like that, all you got to do is keep meleeing. And every time you melee, you'll send out a Nova. And every one of those Novas is going to deal a ton of damage. And that's going to be your main source of damage and killing enemies. And then otherwise, the last thing that you guys are going to need is a high pellet weapon. So a stagecoach with as many pellets as you can, up to 25, is going to be what you're going to want, because what you're going to do is enter fadeaway and shoot a couple of these to stack up Stackbot. Now, you do not need an on-level stagecoach. This thing could be level 1. It's purely here for stacking up Stackbot. You're not going to be using this to really damage enemies. But then go ahead and jump into fadeaway, shoot your first 2 shots at an enemy with the stagecoach, and you'll get 50 stacks of Stackbot. The last one you can stack, but then the ricochets aren't guaranteed to crit, so it can reset it. So that's why I just leave the last shot in there, and then I run around invisible with the Pestilence and melee, and I will get all of those Novas dealing damage. And also some of our grenades are going to help us deal even more damage, which we're about to get to. But real quick, before we get to the grenade, the shield that you guys are going to have to use so you don't end up killing yourself is a red suit. This is going to make you immune to radiation. And make sure, as a bonus element on here, you only have radiation. Any other element, you'll end up killing yourself. So do not have anything else besides radiation on this build. And then for our grenade, we're going to be using the Mesmer with on grenade throw. This is going to give us extra weapon damage and also action skill damage. The Pestilence Nova does gain benefits from action skill damage as well, so this is going to help it twice, which is awesome. And then the second thing the Mesmer is going to do is draw aggro from us, and that's going to proc one of our skills, Hidden Machine, so you guys are going to be dealing some pretty darn nasty damage. And then, like I said, for the class mod, we're going to be using Stackbot. Now, I like 3 Pack Tactics and 2 Hunter's Eye. And then otherwise on here, some things that can help you out is Splash Radius, so you can hit more enemies with the Pestilence Nova, Splash Damage, and also action skill damage. And then finally, for the artifact, you're going to want an Elemental Projector Deathless so you can get the URAD and also the extra damage from Elemental Projector. With the Pestilence, you're going to be putting that rad dot on yourself all the time, and you're going to be able to get that Elemental Projector bonus. Now, if you guys do not want to run a URAD setup, say you feel like you're going down too much with this setup, you guys can make this actually an Elemental Projector auto idle and then just change the URAD to consecutive hits. And then for mobbing, you guys will just use the 150 over 90. And then for bosses, you'll use the consecutive hits. Now let's go ahead and move into the skill tree right here. I will have the entire skill tree set up on your screen so you guys can copy that into your game. But now let's go ahead and go through it individually. We're going to start off here in the orange-red tree. So we're going to grab full Interplanetary Stalker, full Hunter's Eye, and then head count in case we do get down and we need to like cycle fadeaway and just get our damage back going as quick as possible. Just shoot something with the stagecoach in the head and you'll be good to go. You'll have your action skill back. Leave no trace so we don't really have to reload our stagecoach, and also to just move down the tree. And then we're going to grab 3 points into big game, 3 points into Most Dangerous Game, 1 point into Galactic Shadow, and finally 5 points into Grim Harvest. This is going to help our Pestilence a ton for the 50% action skill damage and also the gun damage. Now, there's nothing in this build that can crit, so we really do not need Megavore, and that's why we're skipping it. And then also for our pet, we're going to be using the Spider Ant Scorcher for the elemental damage, by far just the best option for Flak here. And then moving over to our blue tree, we're going to grab 3 points in Persistence Hunter for the extra gun damage and also the action skill duration for our fadeaway so we can run around invisible longer. 2 points into Ferocity just to move down the tree. 5 points into Frenzy for the damage boost. 3 points into He Bites. 1 point into Who Rescued Who to help keep our pet alive. 1 point into Psycho Head on a Stick so they can run faster and get you up in case you need their revive. And then 5 points into Barbaric Yop to boost that elemental damage that the Scorcher is going to give us. And finally, 3 points into Pack Tactics for the damage boost. And then finally, for Green Tree, we're going to be running 5 points into Furious Attack, 5 points into Eager to Impress so we can cycle our fadeaways better, and then 1 point into All My BFFs, 1 point into Lick the Wounds, and 3 points into Turn, Tail, and Run. So you guys can get more gun damage when you're standing still. And then finally, this skill right here is a huge pickup with the level 72, and that is Hidden Machine. This is going to combine with the Mesmer. So once you guys go invisible, throw the Mesmer, you're going to draw aggro to all the enemies, and you're going to be dealing 30% increased damage to them, and that's a huge damage bonus. And then, like I said, we're going to be using Fadeaway, and then we're going to be using Not My Circus to draw aggro once we come out to help you guys stay alive, and then also Until You Are Dead for the increased movement speed once we are out. Unblinking Eye isn't going to help us at all, and also Grills in the Mist completely ruins our duration, so these are really the only two augments that we can use with this setup. For Guardian ranks, I don't do anything special. I just have all the Guardian ranks enabled. And then I personally really like to run Mayhem 10 for Speed Demon. It helps you guys clear so much quicker. Obviously, if you don't like it, you can remove it. But otherwise, I use Speed Demon, Healy Avenger. Ticked Off really isn't that great right here. I would just use Drone Ranger if I had it. And then Postmortem, I really don't encounter it too often because you're constantly putting out those Novas. The Postmortems really never get anywhere close to you. But otherwise, for our cosmetics, I'm just using the standard Flak body. I'm using the Anubis head, and then finally for the skin, I'm using Splatter, and then these are our colors right here, all black, and then some green and yellow to create that toxic looking effect on the greens. But otherwise, to play this build, all you guys got to do is pull out your high pellet weapon, go into fadeaway, shoot twice, because like I said, the ricochets on the last shot can just not crit, and then reset your stacks. And once you're there, all you got to do is pull out your Pestilence and go ahead and just keep reloading or swapping weapons, and you're going to kill anything that spawns around you. As you can see, the minimap is going to be your best friend. That's pretty much what I look at majority of the time with this setup, and I just go towards the red dots and make sure they die. Now, I can't hit these turret guys with the Pestilence, so this is where the Face Puncher comes in handy. Now, as you can see, it still does a lot of damage. I just have URAD on this particular one. And then otherwise, we're right back into doing the Pestilence. Make sure you are throwing your grenades for the increased damage and also for drawing aggro on the different enemies. And you guys can get Hidden Machine to proc, so right here, I'll throw it at them. Now, make sure you don't actually kill the enemies that you turn with the Mesmer, because that's going to defeat the whole purpose. Try to make them last as long as possible. And then if you have to, obviously, blow them up. Then just keep doing that and you'll get that 30% increased damage and you guys are good to go. Now make sure you guys remember to do the fadeaway Stackbot trick twice, because with the 25 Stagecoach, it's going to take 4 total fadeaway shots to get the max 100 stacks from Stackbot. So make sure you guys do that twice and you'll have the max damage. Also, if you go down with it, you guys are going to have to reset your stacks. But then otherwise, like I said, if you're just throwing the grenades, you're going to be dealing a lot of extra damage. And also, if you were turning them, even more damage. But otherwise, once you guys get the hang of playing this build and the combos, when to do certain actions, you guys will almost never go down. Really, your biggest threat is going to be barrels, because your Novas are going to explode them. And you will definitely insta-die to them. But besides that, you're good to go. As long as you're staying invisible, moving out of the way of enemies and throwing your Mesmers, you're not really going to get touched too often. So that's personally why I really like the URAD version. Like I said, if you guys want to run the auto idle non-URAD version, that is also a great option. I just feel like it does a little bit less damage. But yeah, that is our updated level 72 Stinkbot. Hopefully you guys do enjoy. If you want the save file for this build, it'll be in our Discord, so make sure you click that link in the description down below and join up on the Discord and go to the build save file section. Hopefully you did enjoy this build video. If you did, make sure to leave a thumbs up on it to let me know. Also consider subscribing for more build updates in Borderlands 3. Like I said, I'll be on vacation this weekend, so hopefully I will see you guys back next week for tons of new updates. But anyways, I hope you all have a fantastic weekend, and I'll catch you in the next video. See ya.